hope you're all well. Today I will be telling you my Newts TBR. I am so excited for this readathon. Last year I ended up doing it late. I did the Owls in August and I did the Newts in October. So I was really late to the readathon. I think that's what I did anyway. But either way, this year I did take part in the Owls in April. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, A, where have you been? B, check the link down below to G at Book Roast's announcement video for the Newts Readathon. You don't have to have done the Owls to participate in the Newts Readathon, but it's always fun to sort of follow the rules if you like. This is a Harry Potter themed readathon and I'm very excited. I cannot wait to get started. Like, these books, I've been going through this TBR over and over again and making changes, and I've been wanting to read all of these books like immediately. So I'm very excited that the week of the Newts is here. Obviously it's not started yet, but the week of the Newts is here. It starts on Thursday the 1st of August and I'm super duper excited. So let me tell you about the career path I am aiming for. I am aiming for Mind Medic. So when I took the Owls, I needed to get Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, Charms, Defence Against the Dark Arts, Herbology, Muggle Studies, Potions and Transfiguration. I managed to get all of those. I actually passed all of the Owls, so I can do all of the subjects for the Newts, which I do have books for all of them, but whether or not I actually get through them all, I'm not sure. I will show you the books for all of them that I have down. There is a lot, but I'll just go through it very quickly because otherwise we'll be here all year. So for the Newts, I need to get an Outstanding in Charms and Defence Against the Dark Arts, and I need to get Exceeding Expectations in Muggle Studies, Potions and Transfiguration. So that's 12 books and I'm very excited about these books. I actually cannot wait. Super duper excited. So let's get into it because otherwise we will be here for a while. So to start off with, I'm going to be reading out of my bullet journal because I don't know the prompts off by heart. So I need a reminder. So to start off with, for Charms, for Acceptable, I need a book with a gorgeous cover. I am going to read The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg. I've heard really good things about this. This is to do with some half human, half androids that sort of work in a fairy tale park, a little bit like Disney if you like. I also kind of get Westworld vibes from this as well. I don't know if I'm completely off the mark with that, but yeah, kind of get Westworld vibes from it, but I'm really excited about it. Also, this cover is stunning. Very excited. Cannot wait to read that. Then for Exceeding Expectations, I need to read a comic, graphic novel or manga, or a book that's under 150 pages. So I'm going to pick up Descender Volume 2. I read Volume 1 earlier on this year, maybe end of last year, can't remember. Very excited to get to this. This is obviously a graphic novel. The illustrations are different to what I'm used to, but I really enjoyed the story and I do want to carry on with it, so I'm very excited to get on with this. Also, this is one of G's favourite graphic novels series. She's really enjoying it, so another reason to pick it up. For Outstanding, I have to read a paperback, so this is a perfect time to pick up Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Young. This is the second in the Girls of Paper and Fire series. I forgot for a minute then what I was saying. It is a paperback, it's an arc. This doesn't come out until November, but I'm very excited to give it a read. There is also, just beware, trigger warnings for violence and sexual violence as well, so just beware of that if that's something that could be a trigger to you. But I really enjoyed the first one. It was very good, so I'm very excited to give this a read. Thank you to Hodder and Stoughton, I am forever going to fail at pronouncing that, for sending me this over. I'm very excited. So yes, I'm going to try and keep these brief actually, to be honest. So Defence Against the Dark Arts, for Acceptable, I need to read a book that is Black Under the Dust Jacket. So I'm picking up Breakpoint by Ollie Ollerton. This is Black Under the Dust Jacket. This is Ollie's story of his time in the SAS and then becoming a civvy, I assume. That's how Ant Middleton and Jason Calafox's books have gone. So I'm assuming Ollie's is going to be the same. I do have this on audio. I'm very excited to give it a listen. It's also got some pictures in it as well. Ollie is from SAS Who Dares Wins. That's where I know him from anyway. And I love the guys on that show. Ant, Ollie, Mark and Jason. They're all so funny. And Mark Billingham's book comes out later on this year, so I'm also going to be picking that up later on this year. But I'm very excited to give this a read. For exceeding expectations for Defence Against the Dark Arts, you just had to pick the first book that came to mind when you were watching G's video. So for some strange reason, the book that I was thinking about at the time is Vox by Christina Dalsher. I have been thinking about this for ages, since I picked it up, to be honest, which was last year, I think. And I've been really wanting to read this. I believe this is like a dystopian, and women in this world only have a certain amount of words that they can use a day. So I'm very excited to give this a read. I think it's going to be really good. I've heard good things. And then for outstanding for Defence Against the Dark Arts is to read a book written by an English author or set in England. So obviously a Harry Potter book had to make its way in here somewhere. I'm going to be reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the illustrated edition, in the month of July. So I'm going to be reading this in the month of August, and I'm very excited. I also have this on audio just in case, but I am intending to physically read this because I just love the illustrations in these books. They're gorgeous. So I'm very excited to give this a read. The Ghosts are my favourites. So yes, looking forward to that. Muggle Studies for Acceptable, I need to read a book whose cover includes an actual photo element. So that could be a person, an item of clothing, some food, but it's got to be an actual photo element rather than being a drawing or a sketch. So for this, I'm picking Personal by Lee Child. It's not Eric Clay, but this is a photo element. It's got a house and a cliff and some rocks and a man. It is a photo element though. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but yeah, very excited about this. This is part of the Jack Reacher series. I don't know what book in the series what number book in the series this is. I've got no idea. I'm not reading them in order. I did read Killing Floor first, which is the first in the series, but there's about 24 books in this series now, so you don't have to read them in order, but I would recommend giving Killing Floor a read first if you are going to start this series, because that is the first in the series. It gives you an introduction to Jack Reacher. So I'm very excited to give this a read on my 30 for 30 TBR, so 2 birds, 1 stone. There's quite a few of those in here. For Exceeding Expectations, I've got a book set in our real world. I'm going to be reading My Brother's Husband. What? I nearly said My Brother's Keeper then, because I'm thinking of My Sister's Keeper and I'm not sure why. My Brother's Husband, this is a manga, but it is set in the real world. This dude is from Canada, and this dude lives in Japan with his daughter. And this dude was married to this dude's brother. I'm assuming this dude's brother has passed away. And he's going to kind of see the family. Has a problem, but is trying to deal with it. And she brings them together, I think. Not in a relationship way, but like in a brotherly way. I believe it's very cute. This is the first in a series. I don't know how many there's going to be, but I am aware that volume 2 has come out now, so I'm very excited about this one. And then for Outstanding, which I don't need to get, but I've got a book down for anyway, so I'll tell you now. Written by a person of colour, I'm going to be reading Black Enough, which is written by several people of colour. This is brought together by Ibi Zoboi, and it is an anthology of short stories. And I did start this a while ago, but I haven't continued with it for whatever reason. I just don't think I was in the right frame of mind for it, so I am putting it on this TBR. I'm very excited to give it a read. I've heard really good things, and I did enjoy the first 2 stories that I read in there, so I am looking forward to that one. For Potions for Acceptable, read a friend's favourite book. So I don't have many friends that read books, and G sort of said that if you've got a booktuber that you really like and you get on with their recommendations, you can read their favourite books. So of course I'm going to read one of G's favourite books, and I'm going to pick up Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. What is wrong with me? This is also one of Cody's favourite books from Cody's Book Corner, and also one of Kayla's favourite books from Lala Books and Lala. And I think Brittany from Brittany the Bibliophile likes this one too. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain she does. But this is one of G's favourite books, and I'm super excited about it. I picked up The Martian by Andy Weir on the basis that G really loved it, and also Kayla from Books and Lala. So the fact that they both really like this as well is a huge win for me. So I'm very excited to give this a read. I cannot wait. For Exceeding Expectations, covering your Hogwarts house colour. So obviously I am Gryffindor. It's too hot to be wearing a jumper, by the way. I can't put a jumper on, so I've got my tie on, that's it. So a book in your Hogwarts house colour. So G just said, obviously don't go wandering around looking for like a burgundy book. Just pick a red book if you're in Gryffindor, obviously like blue, yellow and green. So I am Gryffindor. I am going to pick the group read for the readathon. So we have a group read for this readathon. This is the first time she's done this for this readathon. And I'm actually really excited about this. I believe this is Jade from Jadey Ray Reads, one of her favourite series. So I'm really looking forward to it. That is Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castal. I'm really excited about this. Obviously it's red here, it's got red sprayed edges, it's red on the back, so red everywhere, and I thought this would be the perfect place to fit this in. Very excited for that. And then for Outstanding, which I don't need to read but I've got a book for anyway, starts with a prologue. I'm picking The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first in the Mistborn trilogy, and it does start with a prologue. This is also on my 30 for 30 TBR. This was also on my Book Junkie Trials TBR and I didn't get to it, so prologue. I'm sticking it on here because I really want to read it. I did start it, I got 45 pages in, and I enjoyed it, but I just didn't get through it. It's quite intimidating, so I've got the audiobook for it because it's helpful. For Transfiguration Acceptable, I need to read an LGBTQ plus rep book, so I'm going for Heartstopper Volume 2. I'm super excited about this. This is a comic / graphic novel, and this is following Nick and Charlie, who are now in a relationship. Spoiler alert, if you've not read Heartstopper Volume 1, what are you doing? This is by Alice Oseman and it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited to continue with this series. Cannot wait. For Exceeding Expectations, not a first in a series, so I'm going to read Saga Volume 4. I'm really enjoying this manga, graphic novel at the moment. What is wrong with me? The illustrations are absolutely gorgeous. I love this series. It's so good. So Volume 4, really excited. And then for Outstanding, again, I don't need to read this, but I'm putting it on here anyway. A book of over 500 pages. So I'm going for Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I'm still making my way through Stranger Dream. I've literally got about an hour left on the audiobook. So I'm very excited. I've really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to getting through this. This book is gorgeous. I've had it since my birthday last year. My mum and dad got it for me last year. And I hadn't even read Stranger Dreamer. So those are all the books that I have to read, apart from Muse of Nightmares, The Final Empire and Black Enough. I don't have to read those. But those are the books that I have to read. And then the books that I'm choosing to read, this is already a long video, so I'm just going to go through this quickly. For An Acceptable in Ancient Runes, a read recommended by a friend. Now, like I said before, I don't really have friends that read that many books, so I'm going for a book that seems to be highly recommended on BookTube, and that's Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. People will not shut up about this book. I believe this is middle grade, and I'm really excited about it because I think it's just going to be really easy to get through with it being middle grade, and it is a chunk, but I just think it's going to be easy. The text is a reasonable size, so I'm really looking forward to it. I've seen loads and loads of hype about it, so I cannot wait to give that a read. For Exceeding Expectations, a book written in the past tense, I'm going to read Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. I have read Cinder a couple of months ago now, and I really loved it, and I cannot wait to continue with the series. I've managed to get the audiobook for this from my library, so I cannot wait. Very excited to give this a read. And then being on your TBR for ages for Outstanding, I am going to read The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Again, this has been on my TBR loads. Again, it's on my 30 for 30 TBR. So I cannot wait to give this a read. Again, it's an audiobook. I have a shitload of audiobooks in this TBR. I think my book tower is going to collapse. For Arithmancy, ends on an even numbered page, I'm going to go for Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I've been trying to get into Six of Crows, and I think I'm struggling because I don't know the Grishaverse at all because I haven't read this series yet. So I'm going to read this series starting with this one, obviously, and it finishes on page 308, so that's an even numbered page. So I'm very excited about this. I'm going to be physically reading it as well. I don't have the audiobook. I have too many audiobooks on here, actually. Read a standalone. I'm going to read In a Dark Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I believe this is... Oh, God, nearly hit myself then. I believe this is very good. I think Kayla from Books and Lala enjoyed this. She's had a couple that she's enjoyed by Ruth Ware and a couple that she hasn't. I think this was one that she enjoyed. And I know Cody at Cody's Book Corner, I think she enjoyed this one as well. So I am looking forward to this. I think it should be good. I saw it in the library the other day and I couldn't not pick it up, if that makes sense. couldn't not pick it up. That's not a double negative, is it? Don't know. And then for outstanding, longer than 350 pages, I'm going to read another library book, and that's going to be The Leaving by Tara Altebrando. 6 children go missing at the age of 5 years old. 11 years later, 5 of them come back, and they're trying to figure out what's happened to the other. Who took them, why, what happened, etc, etc. It sounds amazing. I'm really excited, and it's over 400 pages, so that counts. For astronomy, for acceptable, you need to read a book with a moon on the cover or in the title. I'm going to read Mooncakes, which is a graphic novel. I have this from NetGalley. Thank you to them and to the publishers for sending me this. Very excited. Cannot wait to give this a read. I've heard good things. And then for Exceeding Expectations, it's got to have night in the title or in the series. I'm going to read Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I don't have this book. I'm going to be listening to it on Scribd. I'm very, very excited to give this a read. I have been reading the Illuminae files the last couple of months, and also Aurora Rising, and I have absolutely adored these books. I know they are both by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, but I adore the writing style, so I'm going to start reading both of their books now. Cannot wait to get into Nevernight. I've heard good things. For outstanding, read a sci-fi. I've gone for The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. Every single time I want to say Nick, it's not, it's Rick. I loved the film for this. Absolutely adored it. I thought it was fantastic. So I'm really excited to give this a read. Also on my 30 TBR. Care of Magical Creatures, title that starts with an A, I'm going to be listening to And Then You Were Gone. I do not have the book for this. This was another NetGalley read that I didn't get to, but I now have the audiobook from my library, so I'm going to be listening to it on there. I am looking forward to it. And then for Exceeding Expectations, under 300 pages, I'm going to be reading To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is the graphic novel edition, and it's absolutely stunning. And I can't wait to read it despite the subject matter. I'm really excited about it. I just think it's going to be a beautiful read. I think this is going to be a lot easier for me to read than the book that I've got. So I'm really looking forward to this. And then for outstanding, read a book with a bird on the cover. I'm going for The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This does have a bird on the cover. Another audiobook. Divination, read a white book. I'm going for Descender Volume 3. And this cover is gorgeous. So stunning. Love his hair. Offs. For Exceeding Expectations, short story or a collection of short stories, I'm going to go for Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J Maas. Don't know if this is classified as a short story or not, to be honest, but it's only little, so I'm classifying it as a short story. I have this on Scribd, so I'm going to be listening to it on there. And this is a novella, 229 pages. This is the novella for the Court of Thorns and Roses series, which I've literally recently read the whole series. Adored it so much. I just want to wrap it up as far as they are at the moment. So I'm very excited. I've loved that series so much. For outstanding, last book you bought / borrowed, I'm going for The Wicked and the Divine. I'm looking forward to this. Another graphic novel. I quite fancied the thought of it, so that's what I'm going to be reading. For Herbology, listen to an audiobook or read a green book. So I have a green audiobook. I'm going to be listening to Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. This is the second in the Arc of Scythe series. I loved Scythe. I think I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, but I believe Thunderhead is better. And then The Toll comes out in a couple of months' time. I think it might be, it's either September or October, I think. So I'm really looking forward to that. Then for Exceeding Expectations, a book between 350 and 390 pages, I'm going to be reading A Boy and His Dog at the End of the World by C.A. Fletcher. Again, another book I had from NetGalley but didn't get around to. It's now come out of my library, so I've picked it up. It sounds amazing. Flowers on the cover, I'm going for The Binding by Bridget Collins. This does have flowers on the cover. Another e-book that from NetGalley that I didn't get to, another audiobook that I've had for the longest time. And then last subject, History of Magic, read a fantasy. I'm going for The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman. I really enjoyed Northern Lights when I read that last year. Really enjoyed it. Again, another audiobook. Philip Pullman does this himself with a cast of people, so I'm really looking forward to that because it was really enjoyable last time. And then a book that includes a map. I'm going for Hair of Fire by Sarah J Maas. I'm just all about the Sarah J Maas at the moment. I was meant to read this absolutely months ago. To be perfectly honest, it should be on Kingdom of Ash by now because my intention was to read one a month for the year. But so I should be on the last one by now. But alas, I failed at my mission. So hopefully get through Hair of Fire this year. It does have a map in it. Here. Proof. Finally, read a classic or reread a favourite. So I think I've read this before, but I don't know. But either way, it's a classic. I'm going to be reading Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I'm really looking forward to this. This is a really cute book. It's got illustrations in it, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a really easy read. I think I'm going to have a blast with it. I'm looking forward to it. So those are all of my books, my reviews. Just can't wait. I'm so excited, guys. It's going to be amazing. G's outdone herself as always this year, so I'm super excited. So I'm very excited. Please let me know if you're taking part and you've done a TBR. I will check it out. Leave a link down below and give this a like if you enjoyed it, and I shall see you all in class on the 1st of August. Bye for now.